I don't think we're ready for this Phoenix Wright stuff.
So goddamn loud. For me, I gotta turn it down.
Yeah, it is actually very loud.
So we got Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. Let's start with Trials and Tribulations. No. Let's go right to the third one. Play this game. Episode 1. The first turnabout. I don't think you're ready. Gasp. Gasp. I already have a slightly sore throat, and I'm going to play a game that involves reading. Damn it, why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on.
What?
Someone like
There is
him.
something I can do. I know the answer. Oh, yes. Oh, I guess.
I'll make it look like he did it. He did it. August 3, 9:47, District Court, Defendant, Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hi, Chief. Phew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes out a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yes. Actually, I kinda owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. We solved the mystery. Not just like, that's it. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, that's him. Death, despair. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna die. Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell them I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. Finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me who took my baby away. The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one. Which is why I took the case to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. Court is now in session! For the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous. Her conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to whatever my readiness. Yes, Your Honor.
Ugh, hands shaking, eyesight fading.
The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. It's Phoenix Wright, sir.
Yeah, right. Just answer wrong. I'm curious to know, like, what happened.
The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? Phew, I know this one. Glad I read that case report cover to cover so many times. It's, wait, uh-oh. No way, I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know what the victim's name. Oh, the victim. Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the R button to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it off and do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? Let's see. Maya, no. Larry is the defendant. Sydney is the victim. Ah, there we go. It's Cinderblock. Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Sure it's not Cinderblock or whatever? Correct! Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was? Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. Hit with a blunt object. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all of my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Because I don't feel relaxed. That's for sure.
Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what the object was? The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court records. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in a court. Unless you bring a gun. Like, what? Use the R button to check the court record frequently. Like, right in front of your face. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. Prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand.
Chief, what do I do now?
Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh, Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy! We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony.
Didn't they all die?
I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it, lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport? According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the courtroom. Paris at 7:30 the day before the murder. Alright. Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I? My client had no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Dude, Nick, what do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Alright. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused's motives is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Uh-oh, he went. What do I do? I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so, like, I didn't see her. Oh, Jesus. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order of this court! Mr. Payne, prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspaper at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sawit to the stand. I don't know what the fuck his last name is. Sawit? Oh boy. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is that correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. I don't know how to do voices, god damn it. They all sound the fucking same to me. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I was going door to door. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright. Quailed in fright, and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sahut used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your... whatever that word is. Electricity of the Mr. Stone's building was out of the noon at 6 p.m. the day of the crime.
No.
Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you are exposed to the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court records and the witness testimony. Then, once you have found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court records with the R button, then point out the contradiction in the testimony. Cross-examination time. I was going door-to-door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing the apartment. That makes sense. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Alright. Taking a strange, I looked inside the apartment. It's in there. When I saw lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I had to call police immediately. However, the phone in our apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. 1 p.m.? But the time of death, yeah, I remember the time of death was between 4 and 5 p.m. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m.? You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes that the time of death was sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that? Oh, Oh. This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sowet, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out the contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one and their whole story falls apart. Wait! I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? Witness testimony, the time of the discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? Yes, the victim has been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Keep changing his voice because I can't fucking remember what I was doing. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Well, I mean, hold on a sec. You know what to do. I've got this one. How the hell did he watch a taped program? We just went over that there was a blackout. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Objection! Hold it right there.
Hold it!
The prosecution had said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Hi, well, the defense has a point. Do you have any explanation for this, Mr. Sahwit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Ah! Wait! I remember now. Mr. Sohit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yes, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? What? You, with your objections and your evidence, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. And as it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness testimony was correct. This is a clock. Have any problems with his testimony now? Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he... You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah, prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. Order in this court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sohit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What is the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. He's got a poop. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never, look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw, He just threw his hair at my face. I don't know how I feel about this. Shut up! I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her and he should burn. Give him death. This dude just threw his toupee at me. I don't know how I feel about everything in my life. Order! Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor. You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Wright heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... Let's sound the clock now here in this courtroom. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I asked the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25.
That certainly is a strange way to announce the time.
Well, he is the thinker, after all.
So, we heard the clock. What is your conclusions, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ha! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sweat heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sweat, try to talk your way out of this one. Ha! Ha ha! You forgot one thing.
Uh-oh, what's he talking about now?
While it may seem that this clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right.
How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sawyer.
I came all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. I had to throw my fucking toupee. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal. You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry, I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sweat. Chief! Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away, not like this. Think. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that.
Well, yes.
But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason, you'll have your proof. Right? Right? Can you think of a reason why the clock would be 3 hours slow? I mean, she did come the day before the murder. She was in Paris. Yes. Wait, maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let him have it.
Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found the evidence to support this claim?
Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Ha! Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see the evidence that proves why the clock was running slow.
Take that! The victim had just returned home from the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. I didn't know. I just thought because she traveled that the time would fuck her up. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day.
Right, and then Phoenix is like, for these reasons, you're like, shit, he's good.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that. I just thought because she was in a different area, time zones.
Imagine, you make a shit lawyer.
This is why I'm not a lawyer.
Why is this guy guilty? Because time zones, son.
The clock wasn't 3 hours
right.
slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset the clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in our apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sowit? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? Yeah. He just spoke to the mouth and passed out. I have to make all the effect noises for this shit.
Order, order, I say. He's dead. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness?
He was arrested and been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just bullshitted my way through.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not Guilty, guilty, guilty.
Who the fuck has confetti at a courtroom? Yay!
And with that, this court is adjourned. I have to poop now. My diaper's full.
Turns out that Frank Swit was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Swit let himself to do the dirty work. While he was searching for the place, the victim returned. Flustered, he grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. His toupee. August 3rd. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. Whew, I still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief, I owe it all to you. Not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've had a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief look this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel.
My life is over!
Larry! You're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now?
Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon.
Good. Wait, no, I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed.
But my Cindy Wendy's gone, man. Gone forever.
Larry, she was a... never mind. Congratulations, Harry.
Harry?
Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butt's innocent.
Oh, well, thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present.
A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me.
Really? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Doesn't it make you want to just cry?
Larry. Are you so sure?
Excuse me?
I think she thought you quite a lot of you in her own way.
You don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not just sympathizing. Jesus Christ. Isn't that right, Wright? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. The heck is she talking about? Does she want the or does he want the autopsy report? John. Don't you have something to give Larry? Yeah, here's Cindy's autopsy report. Is this good for you? How about my attorney badge?
Wait, did you actually try giving that to him?
No, I really want to, but I don't want to fuck it up.
Well, I mean, like, how would it fuck it up?
Take that! Here you go, Larry. Proof.
It's okay, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll forget about her soon enough. Look, I'm gonna head home. Thanks a ton, eh?
Yes. Yeah. Guess that wasn't the right thing to show him.
Yeah, perfect. It does change. I love it.
Right?
What did you give?
I gave him the autopsy report.
Like, here, be me now.
I gave him the autopsy report. I thought he wanted to know about Cindy. I hope
God,
you see.
I'm so happy it doesn't make you keep choosing. Fuck, man. I want to know what the other possibilities are.
Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We really never know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right. Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about a dinner on me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it, maybe over drinks? I'm not allowed to date people higher in my rank. It's against policy. And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave Mia, or Maya. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep.